Alright everyone, welcome back to another episode of Outlast Expert. I hope everyone is doing great today. I know that I am. We are jumping right back on into things today. And before we get going, I do want to once again express my appreciation to everyone who has been following along with the channel, with the series, leaving comments, leaving likes, and just overall watching the videos. I'm glad that everyone is enjoying it just as much as I'm enjoying making them and putting them out there for you. And it definitely seems like it has been helpful for some of you. So I'm glad to see that. I'm really glad to see our community starting to come together. And if you do want to talk more on this mod pack, or if you have questions, concerns, whatever it may be, you can always hit up my Discord, which is linked down below. Or if you want a probably more technical perspective of the mod pack, definitely go over and check out the Discord for Outlast Expert. I have the website linked down below, and from there you can find the Discord link. I think you can also find them from in-game as well within the mod pack. If you go to quests and you go to introduction, there's a nice little spot right here for the Discord link. So again, just a great way to stay connected with everyone in the community. So with that being said, you may be wondering what we're getting into today. So to recap, in the last episode, we got our simple storage system connected up for the most part. It's in a good place for now. We have a decent amount of storage downstairs, basically just crates at this point, hooked into our storage network here, and then we can search for whatever we want in here, which makes it a lot easier to sort through all of our junk. I did want to make a note. I talked on the JEI search yesterday. I did change it for mine when I ended the last episode, and then when I started the mod pack up today, it had defaulted back to what it normally is. So I don't know if that's just on my end. I'll keep an eye on it. I'll let you guys know if there is something with it. But I have defaulted it now to being disabled. I don't need to have it on. It kind of gets a little bit annoying at times, to be completely honest. But yeah, I am so happy we finally got to this point. We'd been waiting several episodes, working really hard to get to the point where we have a good storage network up and going, and we finally are there. Now, as you can see, I have already started planning out where our progression forward is going to be, and there's a bunch of stuff. There's a whole bunch of stuff that we need to get into. So really, one of the first things would be to wrap up getting our storage remote. It's used to access our network from up to 64 blocks away, which would be great when we're not right next to our request table right there. So we will want to get one of those up and going. We'll try to get that in this episode. I did also want to get an induction smelter going, or an alloy smelter, a simple alloy smelter from Ender.io, because I wanted good ways to get alloys going. Right now, our steel production is not the best, and we do need a lot of steel to progress forward. Steel is definitely becoming one of the main components in a lot of our recipes, be it for mana steel, be it for dark steel for Ender.io. And then obviously a combination between all of the different mods, because all of our recipes have been changed up because we are playing an expert pack. So steel production is probably one of the next things I want to really focus on, hence the alloy smelter or the induction smelter. Now I also was looking into power production, because realistically our power setup is not the best. So I was looking into a wind generator from Mechanism. Now if we go and look in our quest lines here, and we go to Mechanism up here, there's two spots right here for power generation. There's solar generators, which would be kind of cool, but there's also wind generators. If we take a look at the solar generator, it does 38.4 k-tick, or KT. So not too shabby. It's nothing crazy, that's for sure, but for what it is, it's not bad. So really, one of those would be good, but then you also have to keep in mind that it will only run during the day. Then there is also the wind generator. This was another quest that was next to this solar one. And this one's pretty good as well, because it'll generate 80 KT, which is not bad either. Again, nothing insane. Unfortunately, we can't really get into some of the crazy automated high volume power productions just yet because of how the pack is set up. But that's fine. We are taking it the most logical route that I can see based on what is presented in front of us. Everyone's going to have a different way. This is just what I'm choosing for now. But this recipe actually isn't too bad. You may look at it and be like, wow, that's actually a lot of stuff, but it's actually not bad. So we need some osmium ingots, which are pretty easy to get. We already have those. or we already have the resources to be able to get those ingots. An enriched alloy, which we've made before, an electronic circuit, which isn't too bad, and then 2 of these energy tablets. So these bad boys take a little bit of Restonia crystal, which is just redstone in our reconstructor that we have over there where we flip the switch. More of the enriched alloys, and then this enchanted ingot. And for this, we're going to need an enchanter for, with gold, with lapis, and then 8,000 RF, I believe, if I'm understanding it correctly. So really getting this enchanter up and going would be probably one of the next best steps to do, because it's probably one of the easiest things to get up and going. However, you look at it and you need dark steel ingots for it. So then you start looking down the path of dark steel. And really, one of the best ways to get dark steel, we come over here, go to that, go to there, would either be in an induction smelter or in an alloy smelter. Now, I'm leaning towards the alloy smelter just because it's something different, and also it's not as complex as the induction smelter. The induction smelter, you need the extended crafting for, and a lot more components for it. And I do want to get to that point, but I think with the resources we have right now, it's smarter to go this path. So getting a simple alloy smelter up and going is our goal for today. And maybe a little bit of extra power production would be good as well. Now, looking at this recipe, it does not seem too bad. Just a couple of stone gears, a bucket, an iron bucket, some furnaces, and then some iron, and then a simple machine chassis. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky. The simple machine chassis takes mana steel. So again, steel coming into our crafting recipes in one form or fashion, or one way or the other, I should say. And that's not too bad. We've made those before. We have a way of getting them. The other items, though, are a little bit more tricky. So infinity dust block, you need infinity, or grains of infinity for. Now to get this, we need to go down to bedrock. So I'm not going to jump into it right now. I'll show you guys in just a minute how we're going to do that. And then we also need dark iron bars. So it's almost like a catch-22. We want the iron, or we want the alloy furnace to make dark steel, but we need dark steel to make the alloy smelter, or the alloy furnace. So you may be wondering then, how do we get dark steel easily? Well, my recommendation to you guys is Tinkerers, because that's going to be your best bet, and it worked for me. So if you go into the alloying perspective on Tinkerers, you can combine molten steel and molten obsidian to get molten dark steel. So I'll go downstairs, I'll show you that really quickly, and then we're going to jump away and we're going to get some stuff fixed up so that we can get things knocked out. So coming down here, we'll go to our smeltery here. I did take out most of our iron. I put it into blocks, and I broke it down into ingots, and I put it in our storage so we have it ready when we need them. But all you got to do, it's a 1-for-1, so 1 block of obsidian, 1 steel dust, which we got from mechanism, and you combine it in here. So 1 obsidian and 1 steel. Now these are going to take a little bit to go, but if you do have your time in a bottle on you and you got some time, you can easily just tap on your controller here, and it'll speed the process up a little bit. Now each one has different melting points, so it takes a little bit longer for one compared to the other. Obviously the obsidian is taking a lot longer to smelt up there, but you can see our steel is in here. And then once our obsidian gets smelted up, it'll go in there. For a brief second, it'll show separate, and then it'll combine into a molten dark steel. And it shows that we have 1 ingot. So like I said, 1-to-1. You get 1 ingot for 1 of those that you put in. So what I did is I did 9 of them, dumped them out into a block, and that is what we have here. Our dark steel block, which will give us our dark steel ingots, which will actually help us complete a quest under Ender IO. So we'll grab this, we get a little bit of money and a common crate, and we got an oak sapling, so nothing too crazy there. I'm just gonna get rid of that bad boy for the time being. And let's see, what else do we have under here? So actually, grains of infinity is probably the next path to go, because obviously you need the grains to get the simple machine chassis. So grains of infinity, how do we get them? Well, we need to go to bedrock. Luckily, we've been to bedrock before when we were getting our void ore miner set up. However, we did not utilize our time down there wisely to get that. And I don't think we had the resources on us for it at that time. So unfortunately, we're going to have to go back down there. Now, for us, what is the most logical path to do that? Well, it's to grab some water and put a water stream all the way down there so that we can get down there really easily and then get our grains of infinity. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a few items here. I'm going to make our way down to the bedrock. And then when we come back, we will get our grains of infinity up and going. So guys, we'll be right back. All right, guys. So I got things set up here. As you can see, I did switch gears. I was going to use water. I did use it in the process to get this set up. But just being so close to our void ore miner, I didn't really want to use water. It was getting a little bit messy. So I figured I'd just craft up a bunch of ladders. We had tons of sticks from our hopping bonsais anyway. So it was pretty easy to get up and going here. So we can just take our ladder and head all the way down here. Now, I could have a way that we just jump down here. I could have set up a second one where there's water at the bottom. We just jump down and we can land in the water and be safe. But for the time being, this is going to work for what we need it for. So as you can see, we're down here at bedrock and we do need to clear out a little bit of space here. We do need enough area where we can utilize this bedrock. So we're just going to go through here and just take out a bunch of space here. Just like so, we did end up breaking our ladders there a little bit, but that's okay. We can easily place them back, grab our two little ladders here, and get them back up and going. Now we are going to want some torches down here because it is quite dark. So now that we are down here, what do? So we need grains of infinity. So all you got to do is take flint and steel or some kind of way to make a flame on a block. And all you got to do is light the bedrock on fire. So we'll just go like so. And we'll light a whole area because we do need a decent amount of this stuff. And it's not a guaranteed drop every single time you do this. Now there are ways to automate this. You can get a machine that will click for you. You put in the a flint and steel like so, and you get it set up, and it'll automatically click on the bedrock for you, and it'll automatically produce these grains of infinity. And as you can see, we already got a bunch of them up and going here. We got 8 of them, which is actually not too shabby. I do believe, if I am remembering correctly, they are not affected by fire. So it's not like you have a chance of losing them in the flames. You know, if you get things up and going and you're worried about them dropping and then automatically getting destroyed in the fire, I don't think that is a possibility unless it's been changed for this mod pack. As you saw there, ours caught on fire and we were able to pick them up. But we could test it here even more. But yeah, like I was saying, you can automate this in some form or fashion if you want to. Now, the sound you want to look out for to see if you got them, you'll have to listen in on the video here. I'll be quiet for a second so you guys can hear. Right there, the little popping sound, that means that you got some grains of infinity from that fire. And yes, it does appear that they are not affected by the fire, which is awesome. I'm glad to see that that's still the case, because that would be extremely difficult if they had a chance of burning up once they spawn. But we have 21, and we did complete a quest. For getting grains of infinity, you need 16. We got some money and a random crate here, a common crate. So we'll grab this. Let's take a peek at what we got here. A dead bush. Wow, we've been bombing out today on our common crates here. We just have not had very much luck, which is okay. It is what it is. But we do have 21. Now I do know we need a block of it to get going for certain things. So we should have everything that we need. So let's head back up to the base. Actually, you know what? I'm so used to moving around on my own. I often forget that we can do T/home to quickly get back up topside. And it makes things a lot easier. So we're back up here in our main room, and we're going to try to get going on this. So we do need our infinity dust block, which we have plenty of things for, so we'll get that going. And then we do need dark iron bars, just like so. And then we need 4 mana steel. Now, I don't recall if I have any steel. I do. Okay, cool. So we need 4 of those bad boys. We got to go over to our Britannia setup. Now, I did want to mention for Britannia, we did get going into it. However, we did kind of stop once we got to the point where we had everything we needed. And that's where I'm going to kind of leave it for the time being. I think progressing based on what we need is really ideal. We could go ahead and we could get things set up, get some more of these flowers going, get some more of the mana spreaders going, and so on and so forth. But for what we have currently, it's suiting our needs just fine. So I don't see any reason to necessarily push to have something more that might not be needed at this point in time. But anywho, I just wanted to make a note of that since we were running over there. All right, cool beans. So we should have everything we need. So we got our simple machine frame that should give us a progression. The third S is silent. Simple machine chassis. We did get one of these cool new crates. So we got a component bus tier 2. Interesting. We'll just stick that away again. What is that from? Open Computers. Not the most familiar with Open Computers. And then we pretty much should have everything we need. I do need to get in the habit of not necessarily using that because this connects to all of our storage. So we should be able to get our simple alloy smelter up and going just like so. Perfect. Now, with that being said, I do want to try to move things around relatively quickly here. As you can see, I did take out our... I took out our, whatchamacallit here, our induction smelter or whatever it may be, our blast furnace, whatever it was. I did ultimately end up taking that out because we weren't really using it, so I didn't see a need for us to necessarily have it set up. So I just took it down and I stored it away. The process on that was just so long. What did I just do? Uh-oh. Okay, gotta be careful with that. Yeah, the process was just so long for that, it just didn't make sense to do it. So, and as you can see, I'm using these universal cables now, which are awesome. I definitely recommend using the universal cables. They just make things way easier for power transport. And then as you can see, I have it hooked up to our Spectre coil right here. So we do have our simple alloy smelter up and going, which is awesome. I'm so happy that we do now have it up and going. And we can easily make alloys now in this interface, which is awesome. I'm so glad that we have that going. So next would be to get our Enchanter going. Now we do need some more dark steel for this. However, I am not going to necessarily bore you with all of the nitty gritty on that. So what I'll do is I'll jump away. I'll get some stuff crafted up. I'm probably going to get some more universal cables going so we can get hooked up all the way to the end here because we do need to get hooked up for our compressor and so on and so forth. I think the universal cables will work with that, so we'll just kind of keep that with that. So yeah, let me do some work here, and then when we come back, we'll be at a better state, and we will go from there. All right, guys, so I'm getting a bunch of stuff crafted up here, and we are getting to a really good point. So I ran back downstairs, I got some more dark steel going, and I was able to get our Enchanter crafted up so we could get what we needed to progress forward with the enchanted ingots here. So we do need some gold and some lapis to do that, and overall what we need 6 of them, and I think it's a 1-to-1, right? So we need 6 of each. So we'll go for gold. Grab 6 of those, and then lapis, just like so. And then we'll throw both of those in there. Ooh. All right, we might have hit our first roadblock here. So in an Enchanter, I put both. This is interesting. Technically, it should work. A full set of nearby bookshelves. A full set of bookshelves. Okay, so we need bookshelves. That's what our problem is right now, is we need bookshelves. All right, well, let's see what we got here. Okay, well, can we look up bookshelves? This is not doing us well here. So if I grab one of these bad boys, I'll grab like 3 of them. What if I put one next to it? What would be quantified as a full set of bookshelves? That is my question. And that kind of stinks. When we break these, we're going to lose our wood from it, but that is what it is. Okay, I'll have to look into this and do something about it. Let's grab it, because really we're probably not going to have it up here then. So let's get those broken, and then let's grab our cobblestone here. We just need 2 of them. So we can place it back underneath there, just like so. But in other news, we did get a better production of steel up and going, which is awesome. So in order to do steel in this, you just need some pulverized coal and then some iron put in here, and it'll make you some steel, which is awesome. Super easy to make. I got pulverized coal by putting it in our crusher and just crushing it up. Now I did want to craft up our storage remote so we can easily access things. We do just need the electrum ingots, which are silver and gold in our alloy smelter, and it is a basically 2 ingots will get you 2 out. So it's almost a 1-for-1 realistically. So we'll put 2 of those in there, and then we'll put those 2 in there. It'll just take a couple seconds to get up and going. But once that is done, we should have our electrum, and then we should be able to... Actually, it's not taking long at all. It's actually going relatively quickly. So like that, we have what we need. And then we should be able to craft up our storage remote, just like so. Now, I think we somehow... Do we need to link it to it? There we go. I think we're good now. Oh, okay. I hit all the wrong buttons there. So we should be able to utilize this up to 64 blocks away, which is awesome. And now I believe there's also range extensions that we could utilize. We'll grab that and that. We got the storage remote. What is the simple remote? Remote without crafting with unlimited distance. So basically we could utilize this to connect to our system from any kind of distance, but we just couldn't craft with it. Which I don't think is actually that bad of a deal, in my opinion. Considering we have our remote or our handheld crafting table on us anywho, it would be a little bit more tricky because we just have to grab things, but I don't think it's that bad. We do have to get some of this magnesium ingots though, which means that we would have to get this bad boy, which alloying... Yeah, we would need to alloy it, which we'd need cobalt and ardite for, which I think we actually have both of those, if I'm not mistaken. So if we look for cobalt, we do have cobalt. And then what was it, ardite? Ardite? Yeah, we have ardite ore chunks here. Interesting. Now I kind of want to try this out. We might hold off on our enchanter for a hot minute here. Oh, okay. Did not expect to see this guy here. We actually haven't had many people spawning here recently. Yeah, because we have to figure out how to get this hooked up with bookshelves and all. And really, maybe this would be the best spot for it. We could put bookshelves all along this wall here. Let's try it out. Let's try it out. Bookshelf. Bookshelf, and we'll get this knocked off of here. We'll grab one of those. How many can we make? 10? We'll make all 10. Why not? We'll give it a go. It's gonna unfortunately block our amazing view. But I'm assuming it would work after a period of time. But we might need more bookshelves, which is fine. We can figure that out going forward. Yeah, From the outside now, it looks kind of funny, but you know, it is what it is. We could always do something different with it. I could always tear them down and do something else. But it does look like we need some more with that. So maybe we're not getting to our power production today because we're already sitting at 25 minutes. But I did want to come down here to our smeltery and try this out. So it said that we could get it. Let me go back into the quest here. So, but we also need pink slime, which I don't have pink slime. We have to go... pink slime fluid. Yeah, which I don't think there's an easy... We'd have to look into this one a little bit more. We might be able to go to one of the slime islands and get some. I don't believe we have any in our inventory. We could take a peek. Yeah, we don't have any pink slime. So we would have to do that. So unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to do it this episode. But at the very least, we could try to get some of the... some of this magnesium up and going. And it wouldn't hurt to get a block of it, so we have some. So 2 millibuckets, 2 millibuckets. So it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So if we did 9, it should be fine. Can we use this in the smeltery? Can we just throw it in and get it? Yes. So if we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of those, and then those with those, and then we took our time in a bottle and we ramped up production speeds here a little bit more. It should, yep, it morphed into one whole block of magnesium. It's actually kind of interesting because we do have one more ardite chilling in there, or we have one block of ardite. I don't know if that's a glitch because we didn't put that much in unless, oh, maybe we're getting more bang for our buck with this, I think, actually. If we smelt it up, we get 2 ingots. So that's where I went off with that. Okay, that makes sense. So we should be able to get this magnesium, which is awesome because I know that in Tinkers, this is kind of a farther along progression typically to get to this material. So I'm going to use our time in a bottle just to bump up our cooling speeds here, and then we'll grab that. It actually has a cool little logo on it. It's like got a money sign on it, which is awesome. We'll do that, but we got that then, which is awesome. So we can utilize that, but we do need to get some pink slime. And once we have some pink slime, then we can obviously get that up and going, which is awesome. So making great progress. Our pink slime might come from up there. We'll have to try that, but unfortunately we need a good way to get up there. So it's hilarious. You start looking down at things on this mod pack and you start realizing that the more you dive into it, the more resources that it does ultimately take to get things up and going. You need to go to this mod pack to get that, go to this mod pack to get this. You know, you have to collect resources from here or there to make sure that you have enough of what you need. And you ultimately just start going down a rabbit hole. But it's really fun. I really enjoy it, and I'm hoping that you guys are enjoying it as well. So if we take a peek here, really what we want to do is get some of our power production up and going next. So our wind generator that we were trying to go for this episode, and then also our basic energy cube from Mechanism. I think those two would be a good starting point for it. But unfortunately, we do need to figure out these enchanted ingots. And for whatever reason, what we currently have now it's not enough bookcases for what we need. Now what we could do is we do have more wood. What we could just try to do is try to make more bookcases, and we'll see what happens. I'm not like the biggest fan of where we've actually positioned this, to be completely honest with you. At least from the outside, it looks kind of ugly. Doesn't it? It looks kind of weird that we just have a bunch of bookshelves there. So I think ultimately we're going to want to try to rearrange this. So let me move things around really quick and we'll give it one last hoorah. And if it doesn't work for us, then it is what it is. So guys, we will be right back. Alright guys, so I tried, as you can see, I got quite a bit of bookshelves in here around our Enchanter, and I would assume that this would be enough. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe I really should just do some more research and figure it out, which I'll probably do after I end this episode. But I wanted to try it out and see what we would end up with. I did give it some power. I tried to put in what we need in here, and for whatever reason, it's still not giving us any luck, which is a bit of a bummer. I will need to look up what we need to do with that, but that's okay. We can save that for the next episode since we are running at our time frame here. We are at 30 minutes. So we're going to wrap things up today. I'm going to stick this back up here. So guys, I hope you all enjoyed. If you did enjoy, feel free to leave a like down below, or better yet, leave me a comment. I'd love to hear what you're thinking on this series. All your tips and tricks and your suggestions, I love to hear them, and I try to reply to as many as possible. If you're new to the channel, you want to follow along, hit that subscribe button and bell notification. They'll let you know every single time a new episode is posted to the channel. I do stream over on Twitch. I'll have that linked in the description as well, along with my Discord, as I mentioned at the start of the episode. So guys, thank you so much for sticking through till the end. I appreciate it so very much. I'll catch you all in the next one. Thanks. Bye.